Why, good morning. So, taking off for a road walk. It's about 8.5 miles to Charleston, and it's about 6.5 miles on a forest road. And it's about another 4.5 miles on gravel/very country road. So it's about 19.5 miles. It's 11 o'clock. I really don't want to get to, my goal is Seven Devils campsite or recreation site, and I'll just try to find a place on the beach there. I don't really want to get to a campsite before 7 o'clock. I can't imagine a more boring night than when you have no cell access and you're in a tent, just sitting there, you know. So I would rather just sit in my hotel room, which was great. I enjoyed it. Really good breakfast. If you're in a town, highly recommended. So there was an alternate way you could go to what's called Rago, if I'm getting that right, Point, which is the 15-mile out and back. According to the book, you might be able to make a way through a private logging road. I'm not doing that. I hate that. I hate when you're walking on a road just waiting for some truck to pull up. What are you doing out here? You know, not everybody is cool. And people can be real dicks about you walking on their road. It's not like, oh, you're an OCT hiker. Oh, that's so cool. No, it's not like that. So, not doing that. If the OCT came out and said we've worked out an agreement with a logging company and it's okay for OCT hikers to walk on it, okay, then I'll do it. And I'd probably carry that piece of paper with me. Well, we didn't read about that in the newspaper. It's a delicate thing to walk when you're on a long distance trail like the AT. You're golden. You're golden, or the PCT. Nobody can say crap unless there's a fire. But if you're not on some kind of trail, just walking through somebody's land, it's dicey. All right, so 8.5 miles. I'm going to stop in Charleston and get food for the night and breakfast in the morning. It's only a 10-mile beach walk in Bandon. I guess I could do it all as a 30, but nah, I don't feel like doing a 30. So let's go walk to Charleston. It's another beautiful day, very breezy. I can just imagine trying to walk across that now. 57. My grandma had that exact car. I wish I had it now. I would imagine a lot of people take a car ride through this part, take an Uber or Lyft, Trail Angel. But I never have and never will mind walking through it on a town, especially a nice town. Now, I don't like walking through towns where dogs are loose. That's not fun. But the way I remember town is I walk through them. My wife will say, well, we drove through that town. And I go, we did? Yeah, we drove through there. I don't remember that at all. But when I walk through a town, I remember it. Now on Newmark Street, heading west. I always think the thought that it must have been really nice when it was new. Now not so much. I guess this is the old town, Coos Bay. Wow, I just got high walking by. Coming up on Coos Bay. Just that kind of smell of head shop. Takes me right back to 1973 in Torrance, California. Smells have that really weird effect, don't they? Even on the more rural parts. It's got a fantastic shoulder. Got it all. Hobbies, tools, books, and ammo. Dang. His junk, her treasures. Yeah, that's about right. So way out there is Charleston and the mouth of the Coos Bay. Can't say that there's no shoulder. Holy cow. About 2.5 miles to Charleston. Back to a normal shoulder. I'm so spoiled now in that this seems like a narrow shoulder. Very spoiled. Like an oasis. Coming up on Charleston. So that's an oyster farm. Are those all oyster shells? My gosh, that's a lot of shells. More wide shoulders. About half the way to Seven Devils Recreation Side Beach. I'm going to stop here at the old general store and get my dinner for the night and a little just something for breakfast tomorrow. Davy Jones's Locker is also a big grocery store here in town. Well, hiker trashing it up here. You know what they don't have anymore? Picnic tables. Nobody on any businesses that sell food have picnic tables out front. I guess it's got to do with the unhoused and all that. I'm glad I was born when I was. Even the visitor center doesn't have picnic tables. All right, break's over. 6.5 miles to McGravel Road. Let's go do it. I can attest that the shoulder from North Bend Bridge to Charleston is wonderful. Like that, Seven Devils Road. Going off that way. And when you go on to OregonCoastTrail.gov, this is also the road that they say to take. So, as I understand it, the way it got the name Seven Devils is that there were 7 ridges that the early settlers had to make a road over. So they call it the Seven Devils. It's also a part of the Oregon bike trail. Yeah, now we're back to kind of California Coast Trail, Pacific Coast Highway shoulder, which is non-existent. And I think it's like a 540-foot climb up to the top of this. Plenty of shoulder. It's blue smoke. And this is not a quiet road either. I bet you not 30 seconds goes by before there's another car. It's a very big dog. It's not on a leash, but he's afraid to come out to the street, I guess. And there's nothing to stop him. I think this is the first time that I can think of, as I remember, that the OCT hasn't tried at all to lay in a bit of a trail. I haven't seen any OCT signs. It just feels like we give up. Just even along Highway 101, they would lay in a little trail in the woods, or even just, 5 feet off the road, and call that a trail, put in a sign. Close enough, but with nothing, no improvement or even indication that you're on the trail. So I doubt that there is an Uber or Lyft in Charleston. What's the answer to get past this part? Probably do an Uber from Coos Bay and just suck up on money it takes to do this. And probably the place you want to take the Uber to is where Seven Devils Road turns into Old Seven Devils Road and Beaver Road. There's like a junction up about at about 6.5 miles from Charleston. That would probably be the place where you want to be dropped off, because then it's just a gravel road. Well, the good part, there is some place to step off the road. It's not like California was, where there's like, you know, 4 feet high weeds right there. Oh my gosh, that's all manure. Someone's cleaning out the pig pen. That's what I mean. Going around the turn on 2 wheels. View. Lots of clear cuttings going on. So there are stretches where the DOT did clear off the dirt shoulder. That's close enough. Stuff like this, totally fine. Totally fine. Yeah, this is fine to walk on, but how do bicycles do it? I would not recommend this road for bike riders. First bikers I've seen in a long time, really. As I understand it, this place has water and bathrooms. But I'm good. About 1/2 mile past the visitor center is an interesting little place. I mean, it's like a trail. It's weird. Well, at any rate, it'd be a nice place to just have a lunch or pee. So the shoulder, I would say, has been pretty good since about 3 miles outside of Charleston. That's probably where the city line is and where the county takes over. So coming up on Old Seven Devils Road. That's a dirt road. This is the end of Seven Devils Road right here, and it becomes West Beaver Hills Road right there. So I would say of the 6.5 miles from Charleston, the first 3 didn't have much of a shoulder. That's probably the incorporated within Charleston city limits and maintained by them. Once you get past Charleston, you get out into this open forest land, and then the shoulder becomes pretty wide. I say 6 feet wide, and would be acceptable for almost every hiker. So if you can just hang tough through the first 3 miles from Charleston, it does get better. And now, dirt road where the traffic will be probably almost none. I believe this is the logging road that Bonnie Henderson talks about in her book. Looks like people do walk around it. There's no signs that says, you know, stop or we'll shoot. It's good. So I don't know, you know, I still wouldn't take it. Well, it's very peaceful. I know that. But if people wanted to take an Uber from North Bend or Coos Bay or Charleston, I wouldn't blame them. Probably the best place is just to drop you off back there at that nexus. So 15 miles down, 4.5 to go, and should be there pretty soon. And I would say back there at the nexus was the high point, and then you go down from here. A wall of green. It's amazing. Look at that. Very quiet road. Haven't seen a car. I think I'm going to go into the sign business, and the first sign I'm going to make is private property, no trespassing. You'll sell millions. A bit of a view there, peekaboo view. What a jungle. I mean, it's just so dense. You can't possibly fit another twig in it. So back on pavement, of the 4.5 miles from the nexus to Seven Devils recreation site, of the 4.5 miles, I'd say 3.5 were on gravel and the last mile is paved. Well, this was a very quiet road. I haven't seen any cars pass me on the pavement yet. So there's the Seven Devils recreation site. No water. So this is 2 Mile Creek and it looks very nice. Well, there's my tent, such as it is. It's a beautiful evening. Half moon. That's 5 Mile Point, I think it is. Be there in the morning. Almost sunset. Well, it's a beautiful evening on the Oregon coast. Hiker midnight. Good night.